Welcome back to the channel. Here we got today the tmaxx. We are doing a little bit modifying on a bracket here. Got this old steel, it's about 100 years old. Came out of stuff that looks like this. I mean, it's freaking raw as you get. So I have this steel. Everybody wants to charge like $20 for a mount online. So my brother said he would weld it for me. So I'm just cleaning it up, make sure it's nice and clean. And as you can see, it almost mounts. It's close. The servo up here is hitting there, and the part of the transmission right here, it's just not clearing all that well, as you can see on there. If you can see it, I'm not sure. There's a little mark there. I'm gonna clearance that a little bit more, and I'm gonna chop it off. I'm gonna have my brother weld a plate straight up. That will be where the motor will mount. So I'll give you a little preview. Hold on. So here we go. So I decided to just kind of get an idea with a piece of cardboard. Get a rough estimate of how it's going to be placed, and then that way I can just decipher where all the holes are, and then that way I could choose different bends and see if a bend would work better than a straight. And I got this thing as straight as I could possibly get it, and it looked okay, but I wasn't saying it was amazing. But as you guys can see, I'm pretty set up in here. A nice little grinder. You got a nice little bench vise there, and then the newest addition is our nice drill press. Pretty much everything you're gonna need if you're gonna be working with this kind of metal. I mean, it's not very thin. It's decently thick. I would say this would, I'm not sure of the grading of the metal, but I'd say it'd be good knife steel. I mean, if you look at the edge of the steel, it looks very clean. Yes, it's very pitted on top, but trust me, if you just spend enough time on it, you can get this super clean. I did on my other piece, so I totally understand that it can be cleaned up. But next thing is to, after we do that, we're going to drill in a hole here to match up with this one. And then we have this one here. So these two holes here would have been for the battery box on this truck. I may even put another one here. I probably won't though. And I may even just not even worry about this. So we'll have two here, and then these four. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a pad that goes, after he builds this bracket straight up, I'm going to build another pad that goes straight across here and covers all four of these screw holes as well. That way, if I ever in the future decide to place a second motor, I have a place where I could put a second motor. And then I can always do all kinds of different configurations that way. I do have the original mount that was here that we were using before. It won't work for the Ghoul RC. It's something they didn't specify when I bought the motor, but it's directional only. These plugs cannot be reversed. Like other motors, you can switch these to, I believe, and you can change how the power comes out, and I tried that and it won't even power on. So they're fully directional. So be careful when you buy that you are putting it in a truck that can handle that, because if anybody notices, apologize for the finger, if anybody notices, the normal motor mounts for this truck would be on this side, and I had it on this side thinking, okay, that would work great, until you realize that the spur gear has to go the opposite direction, as you guys can notice. This goes this way, it goes technically in reverse. It goes this way, it goes forward. Now this stupid ass motor, I had it in reverse because obviously it wouldn't move anywhere, and it wasn't really have any power. So I thought maybe I had like too small of a spur, and then I was just chewing up plastic ones. So we went to a metal one, but we went too small, so we're gonna look for a new one here. But it just it's crazy. No one's got like the diameters of the spur, so you can decide. So when you're doing a custom mount like this, I had a 10 millimeters from here to here, placing this motor back here, just like that. I have a 10 millimeter gap basically right here where my spur gear would be, and it would be right here, and it's huge. And no one online has a list of how thick each one of these is. So in a future video, I plan to take a micrometer and actually measure every single one of them. But for a quick reference right now, this is a 21 tooth pinion, and it is 18 millimeters in diameter. And I found out that for at least pinion, I don't know, as you go up further, I haven't tested beyond a 21 so far, but a 19 is 16 millimeters and a 20 is 17 millimeters. So I'm guessing 1 tooth, 1 millimeter. It's not exact. Obviously, I used a ruler. I didn't use a micrometer for that, so it's not going to be super accurate, but it's a good enough indication so you can get really close if you're ever trying to build something like that. And then we're just gonna see as it sits. I would like to build a second plate here, so that way we have a little bit more support on the motor, because in my opinion it's just not a lot of support with just one here. Now if it had a plate across the front, then you put small gusset, because obviously you can have a gusset on this side. You can't on this side because of the spur, obviously, but you can put a gusset on this side. You put a gusset on the back side inside here, and possibly even a small gusset here, and it should have enough strength so that way the motor doesn't flex and twist, and then will prevent all that problems. I did decide that I am going to mount the ESC here. It does seem to be the most logical swap, because if I do double battery here, I mean, that's just simple. Some people say put it on the towers, but I don't want it that high, because if you put the body on this, pickup truck bodies, it might be like right here, which would pretty much be the top of the body, as you can see. And I really don't want it that close to the top of the body, so I'm going to keep it low for now. Maybe do a plexi guard around it at some point. And then we're going to take that Dumbo receiver, we're going to put it here, right on the steering servo. Now these are mounted to their own special brackets here, with 4 screws of course, but because the way the tmaxx is set up, it has these special brackets. This thing doesn't even move, so that'd be the best place to put the gyro, and then you have full control. So wherever this front end is, obviously the gyro is going to take over. But I thought I'd keep it short and quick today. Just gonna cut this off and get back to you guys after this is cut in about 20 minutes. See you then.